Interesting. So that's also going to be forming part of our discussion in a few minutes. Now, the Ibrahim Index of African Governance Report 2017 shows Kenya has registered an overall improvement in governance over the past decade. According to the report that was released in Dakar, Senegal yesterday, Kenya scored 59.3% in overall governance, ranking 13th in Africa. Kenya scored 58.8% and was ranked 14th on the continent in 2015. The report says Kenya was among the top 10 most improved countries in Africa. Well, right now, I just want us to look at those figures right now here on our super wall. And yeah, so like I mentioned, this is from the Ibrahim Index of African Governance Report. Looking at the numbers there, starting with the first one, which is talking about overall governance. And this is where Kenya has ranked 13. Number one, of course, as you can see there, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Botswana. Those are the top three countries when it comes to overall governance in the country. All right, so like I mentioned, Kenya there is ranking 13th in Africa at 59.3%. And looking back in 2015, at that time, Kenya was ranked 14th. So it's actually an improvement from how the situation was back in 2015. At that time, Kenya ranked 58.8%, but right now it's ranking 59.3%. Moving on to human development, this is also somewhere else that Kenya has been ranked as number 10. The first one, of course, Mauritius, Seychelles, and Botswana are ranking very highly there when it comes to human development. And Kenya is ranking number 10 at 67.1%. This comes to human development. Many people would agree and others would disagree with these numbers, but this is what this report is really saying, and emphatically really putting Kenya at number 10 there at 67.1%. Coming to the next one, very interestingly, human rights. And you have Cape Verde there, which is ranking 78 in percentage score. Then you have Mauritius at number 2, Namibia at number 3 with 75.5%. And then you have Kenya ranking 26 out in Africa at 56.2%. Now, this is very interesting considering the issues that, we've been having in the recent past with police officers, the police being accused of using excessive force, brutality. So really interesting number there. Kenya being ranked at 26 with 56.2%. Whether that's a good score or not, leave it to you to decide. But there you go, just some facts there about these numbers. Kenya among the top 10 most improved countries when it comes to governance. Like I mentioned, this is an improvement from how it was back in 2015, where Kenya ranked number 14 in the continent, scoring 58.8%. Also there, Kenya scored highest in human development category at 67.1. And then finally, of course, when it came to Kenya's lowest score, which is the next one. Let's just go to it right now. The graphics will be showing Kenya's lowest score, which was on accountability. We're ranking at 43%. All right, so there you go. So Kenya's lowest score was on accountability. Remember, we've had quite a number of corruption scandals here in the country, mega corruption scandals, and maybe this is what is informing this ranking there. Being Kenya's lowest score really was on accountability at 43%. And then overall score on governance, like I mentioned, was at 59.3%. Very interesting ranking there that Kenya has been given in the continent.